Hello, and thanks for coming to another Temple 420 Bible study with Brother Chapin Walton. And we might have somebody else come up here. We don't know. It's always different every day here, but to invite out, everybody's always welcome to come attend and study the Bible and ask questions as they like to, if they ever want to. We post it on our Facebook page. I should get the Facebook page in the link in the description information, and you should be able to join us. Or also, if you hit me up on the Discord's going to be listed in information too. I try to post that details up as it comes. There, I don't have many attending from Discord at the moment, but if they're asking, I would definitely give them the links. We finished up with Exodus 17 last week, and we're continuing on Exodus 18 with more studies in Egypt and Moses, and what went on through the Exodus and the Bible there. To start out here, I'll start a prayer. Dear Almighty Living God, thank you for the blessings you give us and keeping us safe. Thank you for all that you guide with us and those that you have that come and visit and get encouragement with your word and that feel led by your word. Thank you for keeping us well and bringing us the wisdom that you give us, and help us have a good study tonight. Amen. There we go. Thought that was at 18 already. So right out. Yeah, we just ended with the last time that there was water coming from the rock with Moses because they needed water and they were complaining, and they told him how to hit the rock twice and get them the water. So we're on 18. Jethro's advice. Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard all that Elohim had done for Moses and Israel and his people. He heard that the master Yahuwah had brought Israel out of Egypt. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he'd sent her home, and she had two sons. The name of one son was Gershom, for Moses had said, I've been a foreigner in the land. The name of the other was Ezlier, for Moses said, my ancestors Elohim was my help. He rescued me from the Pharaoh's sword. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came in with Moses' sons and wife to Moses in the wilderness, where he was camped at the mountain of Elohim. He said to Moses, I, your father-in-law Jethro, is coming to you with your wife and two sons. Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down and kissed him. They asked about each other's welfare and went out into the tent. Moses told his father-in-law that the master Yahuwah had done to the Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake, all about the hardships that had come along their way, and how the master Yahuwah had rescued them. Jethro rejoiced over all that was good that Yahweh had done for Israel, and that had been rescued from them in the hand of the Egyptians. Jethro said, may Yahweh be praised, for he rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians and from the hand of the Pharaoh, and he delivered the people from the land of the Egyptians. Now I know that the master Yahweh is greater than all the Elohim, because when the Egyptians treated the Israelites arrogantly, Elohim rescued his people. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and sacrifices for Elohim. Aaron and all the elders of Israel came to eat the meat before Elohim with Moses' father-in-law. On the next day, Moses sat down to the judge of the people and the people stood around him from morning to evening. Then Moses' father-in-law saw what he did for the people and said, "What is this that you're doing for the people? Why is it that you sit all alone and all the people stand about you from morning until evening?" Moses said this to his father-in-law. "The people came to me to ask Elohim for direction. When they have a dispute, they come to me, and I decide between one person or another and teach them Elohim's statutes and the Torah, which is law and instructions." Moses' father-in-law said to him, "What you're doing is not very good. You'll surely wear yourself out, and you and the people who are with you. This burden is too heavy for you, for you're not able to do it by yourself. Let me give you advice, and Elohim be with you, for you are the people's representative to Elohim, and you bring their disputes to him. You must teach them the statutes of his Torah, the laws and instructions. You must show them the way to walk and the work to do. Furthermore, you must choose capable men from all the people, men who honor Elohim, men of truth, men who hate unjust gain. You must put them over the people and to be the leaders in charge of the thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. They will be the judge of all the people in these routine cases. But then when the difficult cases come, they will but when the difficult cases they will bring to you. For all the small cases they can judge themselves, and that way it'll be easier for you. And that they will carry their burden with you. If you do this, and Elohim commands you to do so, you'll be able to endure, and the entire people will be able to go home satisfied. So Moses listened to his father-in-law's words and did everything he had said. Moses chose capable men from all of Israel and made them heads of the people, leaders in the charge of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. They judged the people within normal circumstances. The difficult cases were brought to Moses. They themselves judged all the small cases. Then Moses let his father-in-law leave, and Jethro went back into his own land. Israel at Mount Sinai. In the 3rd month after the people of Israel had gone to the land of Egypt in the same day, they came to the wilderness of Sinai. After they left Rephidim and came to the wilderness of Sinai, they camped in the wilderness in front of the mountain. Moses went up to Elohim. Yahweh called him from the mountain and said, "You must tell the house of Israel of Jacob, that the people of Israel, that you have seen what I did to the Egyptians. Now I carry you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now then, if you obediently listen to my voice and keep my covenant, then you'll be in a special possession among all my peoples, for all the earth is mine. You will be in a kingdom of priests, set apart, a holy nation for me. These are the words that you must speak to the people of Israel." So Moses came and summoned the elders of the people, and he set before them the words that the Master Yahweh had commanded him. And all the people gathered together and said, "We will do everything that Yahweh has said." Then Moses came to report the people's words to Yahweh. Then Yahweh said to Moses, "I will come to you in a thick cloud so that the people may hear when I speak with you and may believe with you forever." Then Moses told the people's words to Yahweh, and Yahweh said to Moses, "Go to the people. Today and tomorrow you must set them apart from me and make them wash their garments. Be ready for the 3rd day, for in the 3rd day I, the Master Yahuwah, will come down to Mount Sinai. You must set all boundaries and put all around the mountain for the people. Say to them, be careful that you do not go to the mountain or touch its border. Whoever touches the mountain will surely be put to death. No one's hand must touch such a person. Instead, he must certainly be stoned or shot. Whether it's a person or animal, he must be put to death. When the trumpet sounds a long blast, they may come up to the foot of the mountain. Then Moses went down from the mountain to his people. He set apart the people of Yahweh, and they washed their garments. He said to the people, "Be ready on the third day. Do not go near your wives." For on the third day, when it was morning, there was thunder and lightning bolts and a thick cloud in the mountains. In the very sound of a loud trumpet, all the people in the camp trembled. Moses brought the people out of camp to meet Elohim, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was completely covered in smoke because the Master Yahweh descended on it in fire and smoke. The smoke went up like the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain shook violently. Then the sound of the trumpet grew louder. Moses spoke, and Elohim answered him in a voice. Yahweh came down on the Mount Sinai to the top of the mountain, and he summoned Moses to the top. So Moses went up. And Yahweh said to Moses, "Go down and warn the people to not break through to me to look, or many of them will perish. Let the priests who come near me set themselves apart, prepare themselves for my coming, so that I do not attack them." Then Moses said to Yahweh, "The people cannot come up the mountain, for you commanded us, set the boundaries between the mountain and set it apart from Yahweh." Then Yahweh said to him, "Go, get down the mountain and bring Aaron up with you, but do not let the priests and the people break through the barrier to come up to me, or I will attack them." So Moses went down to the people and spoke with them. Elohim, the Ten Commandments. Elohim spoke all of these words. I'm the master Yahuwah, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You must have no other Elohim before me. You must not make yourself a carved figure, nor the likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water below. You must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a jealous Elohim. I will punish the ancestors' wickedness by bringing punishment on the descendants to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me. But I will show you covenant faithfulness to the thousands who love me and keep my commandments. You must not take the name of me, Yahweh, your Elohim, in vain. For I will not hold you guiltless anyone who takes my name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to set it apart from me. You must labor and do all your work for 6 days, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath for me. For the Master Yahuwah is your Elohim. On it you must not do any work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your foreigner who is within your gates. For in 6 days I, the Master Yahuwah, made heavens, earth, and sea, and everything that is in them. And then I rested on the seventh day. Therefore, I, the Master Yahuwah, blessed the seventh day and set it apart for myself. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live a long time in the land, which I, the Master Yahuwah, your Elohim, is giving to you. You must not murder anyone. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal from anyone. You must not give a false testimony against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's house. You must not covet your neighbor's wife, his male servant, his female servant, his ox, his donkey, or anything that belongs to that neighbor. All the people saw the thunder and the lightning and heard the voice of the trumpet and saw the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, they trembled and stood far off. They said to Moses, "Speak to us, we will listen, but do not let the Elohim speak to us, or we will die." Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid, for Elohim has come to test you, so that the honor of him may be in you, so that you do not sin." So the people stood far off, and Moses approached the thick darkness where Elohim was. Laws about the altars. The master Yahuwah said to Moses, "This is what you must tell the Israelites. You have seen that I have talked to you from heaven. You must not make for yourselves other Elohim beside me, Elohim of silver, Elohim of gold. You must make an earthen altar for me, and you must sacrifice on it your burnt offerings, fellowship offerings, sheep and oxen, in every place in which I cause my name to be honored. I will come to you and bless you. If you make me an altar of stone, you must not build of it cut stones. For if you use your tools on it, you will have defiled it. You must not go up by steps to my altar. This keeps you from exposing your private parts." Now, laws about slaves. Now, these are the decrees that you must set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he is to serve 6 years, and on the 7th year he shall go free without paying anything. If he came by himself, he must go free by himself. If he's married, then his wife must go free with him. If a master gave him a wife and she bore him sons, the wife and her children belong to the master, and he must go free by himself. But if the servant plainly says, "I love my master, my wife, my children, and I will not go free," then the master must bring him to Elohim. The master must bring him to a door or doorpost, and his master must bore his ear through with an awl, and then the servant shall serve him for the rest of his life. If a man sells his daughter as a female servant, she must not go free as the male servants do. If she does not please her master, who has designated her for himself, then he must let her be bought back. For he has no right to sell her to a foreign people. He has no such right, since he treated her deceitfully. If a master designates his wife for his son, he must treat her the same as if he were his daughter. But if he takes another wife for himself, he must not diminish her food, clothing, or marital rights. But if he does not provide for these things for her, then she can go free without paying any money. Whoever strikes a man so that he dies, that person must surely be put to death. If the man did not do it with premeditation, but instead by an accident, I will fix a place where he can go to flee. If a man willfully attacks his neighbor and murders him according to a cunning plan, then you must take him, even if he's at Elohim's altar, so that he may die. Whoever hits his father or mother surely must be put to death. Whoever kidnaps a person and sells him, or the person is found in his possession, the kidnapper surely must be put to death. Whoever curses his father or mother must surely be put to death. If men fight and one hits the other with a stone or with his fist, that person does not die, but is confined to his bed. And then he recovers and is able to walk using his staff. The man who struck him must pay with the loss of his time. He must also pay for complete recovery, but that man is not guilty of murder. That's interesting. That goes right into the law of what happens if you hurt somebody. They recover and need to pay for the time and the recovery and those things. If a man hits a male servant or his female servant with a staff, and the servant dies result of the blow, then the man must surely be punished. However, if the servant lives for a day or two, the master must not be punished, for he will have suffered the loss of the servant. If the men fight together and hurt a pregnant woman so that she miscarries, but there's no other injury to her, then the man must surely be fined, as the woman's husband demands it from him, as he must pay the judge what the judges determine. But if there is serious injury, then you must give a life for life, an eye for eye, a tooth for tooth, a hand for hand, a foot for foot, a burn for burn, a wound for wound, a bruise for bruise. If a man knocks the eye out of his male servant or of his female servant and destroys it, then he must let the servant go free in compensation for his eye. If he knocks out a tooth of his male servant or his female servant he must let the servant go free as compensation for the tooth. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, the ox must surely be stoned, and its flesh must not be eaten. But the ox owner must be acquitted of the guilt. But if the ox had the bad habit of goring in the past, and its owner was warned but did not keep it in, the ox has killed a man or a woman, that ox must also be stoned, and its owner must be put to death. If a payment is required for his life, he must pay whatever is required to pay. If an ox has gored a man, son, or daughter, the ox must do what is in his decree. The ox's owner must do what is in his decree requires him to do. If the ox gores a male servant or a female servant, and the ox's owner must pay 30 shekels of silver, and the ox must be stoned. If the man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls into it, the owner of the pit must be paid the loss. He must give money to the dead man's owner, and the dead man's animal will become his. If one man's ox hurts another man's ox so that it dies, then they must sell the live ox and divide its price. So they must also divide the dead ox. But if it was known that the ox had a habit of goring in the past, and its owner had not kept it in, he must surely pay an ox for an ox, as the dead and the dead animal will become his own. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and kills it or sells it, then he must pay 5 oxen for one ox, 4 sheep for one sheep. If a thief is found breaking in and is struck so that he dies, in that case, no guilt for murder will be attached to anyone on his account. But if the sun has risen before he breaks in, a guilt of murder will attach for the person who kills him. A thief must make restitution. If he has nothing, then he must be sold for his theft. If a stolen animal is found alive in his possession, whether it is an ox, a donkey, or a sheep, he must pay back double. If a man grazes his livestock in a field or vineyard and lets his animals loose, and it grazes in another man's field, he must make restitution for the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. If a fire breaks out and spreads thorns so that stacked grain or standing grain or cornfield or field is consumed, the one who started the fire surely must make restitution. If a man gives money or goods to his neighbor for safekeeping, and it is stolen out of a man's house, if the thief is found, the thief must pay double. But if the thief is not found, the owner of the house must come before the judges, whether he has put on to see if he has put his hand on his neighbor's property. For every dispute is about something, whether it's an ox or a donkey or a sheep or clothing or any other missing thing, which one says, "This belongs to me." The claim of both parties must come to the judges, and the man who judges found guilty must pay double to his neighbor. If a man gives his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or any animal to keep, and if it dies or is hurt or carried away without anybody seeing it, an oath to the master Yahuwah must be taken by them both, as whether or not one person has his hand on his neighbor's property, the other must accept this and make no other restitution. But if it was stolen from him, the other must make restitution for the owner for it. If an animal is torn to pieces, let the other man bring the animal as evidence, for he will not have to pay for what is torn. If a man borrows any animal from his neighbor and the animal is injured or dies without the owner being with it, the other man must surely make restitution. But if the owner was with it, then the other man must not have to pay. If the animal was hired, it would be paid for its hiring fee. Laws about self-justice. If a man seduces a virgin who's not engaged and he sleeps with her, he must surely make her his wife and pay the bride wealth required for this. If her father completely refuses to give her to him, he must pay money equal to the bride wealth of virgins. He must not allow a sorceress to live. You must Whoever sleeps with a beast must surely be put to death. Whoever sacrifices to any Elohim except for the Master Yahuwah will be completely destroyed. You must not wrong a foreigner or oppress him, for you are all foreigners in the land of Egypt. You must not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict all them at all, and if they call out to me, the Master Yahuwah will surely hear their call. And my anger will burn, and I will kill you with the sword. Your wives will become widows, and your children will become fatherless. If you lend any money to any of my people who are among you who are poor, you must not be like the moneylender to him or charge him interest. If you take your neighbor's garment and pledge, you must return it to him before the sun goes down. For that is his only covering. It is the garment for his body. What else can he sleep in? When he calls out to me, I will hear him, for I am compassionate. You must not blaspheme me, Elohim, nor curse a ruler of your people. You must not hold back from offerings for your harvest or your winepress. You must give me the firstborn of your sons. You must do also the same with your oxen and your sheep. For 7 days they will remain with their mothers, but on the 8th day you must give them to me. It will be the people who are set apart from me. You must not eat any meat that was torn by animals in the field. Instead, you must throw it to the dogs. You must not give false report about anyone. Do not join with a wicked man to be a dishonest witness. You must not follow a crowd to do evil, nor may you bear false witness while sliding with the crowd in order to prevent justice. You must not favor a poor man in his case. If you meet an enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you must bring it back to him. If you see the donkey of someone who hates you fall into the ground under its load, you must not leave that person. You must surely help him with his donkey. You must not pervert justice when it should go towards poor people in a poor man's case. Do not join others in making false accusations, and do not kill the innocent or the righteous, for I will not acquit the wicked. Never take a bribe, for a bribe blinds those who see and perverts honest people's words. You must not oppose a foreigner, since you know the life of a foreigner. You were foreigners in the land of Egypt. Laws about the Sabbath and festivals. For 6 years you will sow seed on the land and gather its produce, but in the 7th year you will leave it unplowed and fallow, so the poor among you may eat what it may leave, and the wild animals will eat, and you will do the same with your vineyards and olive orchards. During the 6 days you will do your work, but on the 7th day you must rest. Do so that your ox and donkey may have rest, so that your female slave, son, and any foreigners may rest refreshed. Pay attention to everything that I have said to you. Do not mention the name of other Elohims, and do not let their names be heard from your mouth. You must travel to hold a festival for me 3 times a year. You must observe the festival of unleavened bread as I commanded you, and you'll eat unleavened bread for 7 days. At that time you'll appear before me in the month of Abib, which is fixed for its purpose. It was in this month that you came out of Egypt, but you must not appear to me before me empty-handed. Exodus 23:16. You must observe the festival of the harvest, the first fruits of your labors when you sowed the seeds in the field. You must also observe the festival of ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather to produce your produce from the field. All of your males must appear before me, Yahweh, 3 times a year. You must not offer the blood sacrifices made to me without bread containing. You must not offer to me the blood from sacrifices made to me with bread containing yeast. Fat of the sacrifices at my festivals must not remain all night until morning. You must bring the choicest first fruits from your land into my house, in the house of Yahweh your Elohim. You must not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. The conquest of Canaan is promised. I'm going to send an angel before you to guard you on the way and to bring you to the place that I have prepared. Be attentive to him and obey him. Do not provoke him, for I will not pardon your transgressions. My name is on him. If you indeed obey his voice and do everything that I tell you, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. My angel will go before you and bring to you the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Jebusites. I will destroy them. You must not bow down to their Elohim and worship them as they do. Instead, you must completely overthrow them and smash their pillars into pieces. You must worship me, Yahweh, your Elohim. If you do, I will bless your bread and water, and I will remove sickness among you. No women will be barren or miscarry in your land. I will give you long lives. I will send fear of myself to those who are in the land in which you advance. I will kill the people in whom you meet, and I will make your enemies turn their backs to you in fright. I will send hornets before you that'll drive out the Hittites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites before you. I will not drive them out before you in 1 year, or in the land, or the land would become abandoned, and the wild animals would become too many for you. Instead, I will drive them out little by little before you become fruitful and inherit the land. I will fix your borders from the Sea of Reeds and the Sea of Philistines, and from the wilderness to the Euphrates. I will give you victory over the land's inhabitants. You will drive them out from yourselves, and you will not make a covenant with them or their Elohim. You must not, they must not live in your land, or they will make you sin against me. If you worship their Elohim, this will surely become a trap for you. Exodus 24:1, the covenant confirmed. Then the master Yahuwah said to Moses, come to me, you, Aaron, Nadab, Abu, and the 70 of Israel's elders, and worship me at a distance. Moses may come near me, the others must not come near, nor the people must not come up with him. Moses went and told the people all of Master Yahuwah's words and decrees. All of the people answered in one voice, said, we will do all the words that Master Yahuwah had said. Then Moses wrote down all the Master Yahuwah's words. Early in the morning, Moses built an altar at the foot of the mountain and arranged 12 stone pillars, so the stones would represent the tribes of Israel. Then he sent some Israelite young men to offer burnt offerings and sacrifice fellowship offerings of oxen to the Master Yahuwah. Moses took half of the blood and put it into basins and sprinkled the other half into the altar. He took the book of the covenant and read it out loud to the people. And they said, we will do all that the Master Yahuwah has spoken. We will be obedient. And then Moses took the blood and sprinkled it into the people, saying, this is the blood of the covenant that the Master Yahuwah has made with you, giving you the promises of all these words. Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of Israel's elders went up the mountain. They saw the Elohim of Israel. Under his feet was a pavement made of sapphire stone, as clear as the sky itself. Elohim did not lay a hand in anger on the Israelite leaders. They saw Elohim, and they ate and drank. The master Yahuwah said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and stay there. I will give you tablets of stone and the Torah and the commandments that I have written, so that you may teach them." So Moses set out with his assistant Joshua and went up the mountain of Elohim. Moses said to the elders, "Stay here and wait for us until we come to you. Aaron and Hur are here with you, and if anyone has a dispute, let them go to him." So Moses went up the mountain, and the cloud covered it. And the Master Yahuwah's glory settled on the Mount Sinai, and covered it for 6 days. On the seventh, he called to Moses from within the cloud. The appearance of the Master Yahuwah's glory was like that of a devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the eyes of the Israelites. Moses entered the cloud and went up the mountain. He was up the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. I think that's pretty good there. At 18 to 24 today. It was interesting because I didn't realize how much time there was a conversation with God. Used to, I guess, the times that I've seen where he goes up to the mountain and has the conversation with God and comes back. But we had all these times when he met God and he saw God, and it even said that Israel's elders saw the Elohim of Israel, and under his feet were a pavement made of sapphire stone. It was clear as the sky. So they could see him to a point there, apparently. That's interesting. Something I hadn't noticed before. I thank all of you that came and attend and have checked it out and stuck with me this long. I appreciate you listening to this and taking the time to study God's word. Dear Almighty living God, Elohim, Yahuwah, Yahweh, thank you for all that you've given us and all the great titles you put for your name that describe your glory and your strength that you give us. Help us have strength and do the righteous things in your name. Be blessed and seek you out. Amen. Have a great day.